allowed to travel. If I travel in Iran, I have to have a written consent from my husband. And it has to be husband, so that I can go to a hotel. But you know what? People learn their ways. They don't have to go to a hotel. They buy camp and tent and they go camping. And they would be with boyfriend and girlfriend. No more hotels, no more consent. So the right to divorce and right to have custody of their children, right to travel and work, and all in the depth of the movement for the grassroots. That all shows that the depth of the movement right from grassroots, how much they are willing to have secularism into their life. There is an approach that believes only with the endorsement of a cultural and intellectual renaissance, secular democracy can be promoted in Iran. And these are the people who believe in education. They believe that first go and educate this public, then bring democracy, then bring secularism. The followers of this approach first assume the members of society in Iran have no desire for political freedom. And this is what Professor said. They have no desire for secularism. They were born Islam, they practice Islam, but they drink one or two as well. So they believe that the people in Iran have no desire for political freedom, for civil rights, and then based on this assumption, they conclude the citizens of society in Iran are followers of backward tradition and religion. So first they assume that because 90% of Iranians were born Muslim, so therefore they have no desire for secularism. They close their eyes towards the movement, as if they are living in their bedroom and they can only read books and they don't see what's happening around the world and around next neighbor. What is the next neighbor doing? What is their wife is doing? Why is it his wife is working in an office and fighting for equality, fighting for freedom, fighting? And these are all, believe me or not, Sharia is against all this equality. How could someone say Muhammad is socialist? I'm positive sure either they are bipolar or schizophrenia. Nothing else can help people believe that Muhammad is socialist. Oh dear me, I'm so angry you won't even believe it.
Another good quality, he married his son's wife.
Thank you.
Muhammad.
Then based on this assumption, they conclude the citizens of society in Iran are followers of backward tradition and religion. Their proposal is to put more effort on education, mostly cultural education. Because right now they can't talk about your education. As I told you, all these girls and boys have degrees. You can hardly find in a family with 4 children, 3 of them not having a degree from university. So they're not talking about education means university education, academic education. They're talking about education means cultural education. As if these people who have boyfriends, who dance, who go out, in summer they wear short, as if this is not cultural education. And believe me, Iranian people in Canada, especially in here, they are more for integration than any other members of different groups from any other country. So this is social education, this is cultural education. They are for integration. I'm sorry. So the proposal is to put more effort on education, mostly cultural education, and citizen, and also criticize religion in philosophical way. So you're not allowed to come here and criticize it and say, well, you know, this religion belongs to feudalism. 1400 years ago, when the people were in cave, you're not allowed to come and talk about this. You're allowed to come and bring philosophy, the same way the mullahs are doing right now. The word of this means this, and has root of this, and it has root of that. And then they reinterpret the Quran in a modern way. And they believe that Quran can be moderated. Can you believe that? The followers of this approach purposely ignore the grassroots movement secularism and try to prevent religion from falling. They have intended and tried hard to save Islamic regime of Iran by planting the notion of Islam can become moderated. And believe me, this is what happened across the board. It's the negotiations, it's the discussions, it's the debate. Islam can be moderated. How come Christianity became moderated, not Islam? This is what happens. A girl goes to, and is famous now, goes to mosque and wants to become a prayer. So this is moderation of Islam. A woman can wear a dress under their knee and go and teach, become a teacher. This is moderation of Islam. Of course they can talk about this because people are doing it anyway. They don't care what your law and restrictions and regulations are. They are already doing that. So now they talk about moderation of Islam in order to keep Islam in power. But the reality and the need of society, as well as the move of people, have proven differently. In order to survive, people need to achieve a modern civil life. It is impossible to ask highly educated women to deny their basic rights and become submissive towards their men in their household. Is it possible? You've been here, you know the equality, you're educated, now you want the product of your educations, your social gatherings, and then you have to act exactly like what Quran says to become the third wife of a man and have a doctorate in your hand or an engineer certificate in your hand, or when you travel to have the consent of your man, and if your man is not giving you the consent, too bad, stay at home, don't travel. So you can see it contradicts the 21st century. It's impossible to say people in Iran are the followers of Islam. It would not go through any person who has that much brain. It's impossible. I'm sorry, I'm not trying to be rude, but that's the reality everybody tries to ignore, especially the ones who are at the academics and trying to just study in their own bedrooms and not to see the reality. It is impossible to treat women as a second-class citizen while they are holding jobs in industrial or service offices. It is impossible to expect youth not to enjoy the happy, colorful life and live like the student of theology in era of internet and high technology. Can you believe that? Tell a youth, you don't have to wear this red, you have to wear black, long sleeve, baggy clothes. Your body should not show. And the temperature is plus 40 degrees. Don't swim. Go with your wife, but don't swim with your wife. Go with your children, but don't swim with your children. If the children are boys, older than 5 years, they can go to that part of ocean. Can you believe that in Iran? They built a wall in ocean so women can swim this part of ocean with their girls and husband, brother, beloved one, boyfriend, whatever you call them, because the male, they have to swim in that part of ocean. Can it be possible to divide ocean and then believe that the people in Iran believe in that? But why is it they have helicopters running in mountain? Because people go in mountain to kiss each other, to hug each other. So they're running helicopter to watch these people. They call it watchdogs. And then sitting here for an hour, listen to academic discussion. If it was in Iran, I'm not joking, the student would, do something like that to make sure this academic lecture would not take place. I'm not joking. I've been in Iran. I was a teacher at university in Iran. If anyone talked differently, you know how I came to Canada? People paid for me $10,000 because I was